What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another episode today, SB Toys. This your boy SB. First things first, as always, should be an icon over on the lower right-hand corner. If you're watching on a desktop computer or laptop, click on that icon. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Stay up to date. Videos and other type of content that may be on. If you don't see it, stick around to the end. You can subscribe as well. I have a button for you to click on. And be sure to check out the other videos on my channel after this video finished. So anyway, we've had so much excitement, a lot of Marvel Legends figures being released out there on the market for collectors of the Marvel Legends line. And we're going to pick up where we have left off with a few of the other reviews I've done lately. Of course, I mentioned the X-Men series, which is a very exciting wave out right now. But also this figure right here, what you're looking at is a Marvel Legends Punisher action figure. And this is from Hasbro. Now, they've done a few Punisher figures in the past. Also, there's a Toy Biz version of the Marvel Legends Punisher figure. So there's a few variations out there for them. But for those of you who have never had one before, this is the newest one to hit the market. Maybe you've been looking for something that you can get right now in retail. So we'll get into more details about this and what we think about this figure. As you can see right now, I have it in the package. It's spinning around. Got a nice design to it. I like the color scheme that went with it. Normal Punisher colors, black and white. You see the animated picture of Punisher on the back. Then you see a nice little professional photo they took care of him of the action figure. You see the characters. Now these are from the Absorbing Man wave. So they have those characters displayed with this figure. I guess he's like the hidden exclusive character tied into that wave. I guess. I'm not sure. But anyway, this is a nice look at the box. Again, this is him at the front, you see. I'm pretty impressed with the design. So we're going to go ahead and pull this thing out the box, get a little hands-on with him, and see how much we really like him. I have the Punisher figure here out the box, get a good look at him. Now, initial reaction, pulling him out the box, definitely nice size and hand and stuff. Now, some of the joints here do feel a little loose, like you can easily pop them off. Here at the shin area, where he has some shin articulation, a couple things. Also, and I've noticed this on a few of the other Marvel Legends figures that's recently coming out. I don't know what's going on with Hasbro. Their plastic material. Maybe if someone knows anything about how to fix these things, leave me a comment. But on some of these figures, and somewhere where you have the double jointed articulation, the connectors here, this whatever rubber material that they use is very flimsy and it easily can get bent out of shape. Maybe from being in the packaging too long. So when you pull them out, they have an awkward bend to them. As you can see right here, I'm noticing on his left knee, it's got a little buckle here. It kind of shifts in a little bit. So if you know anything about fixing type of issues like that, I have an idea. Maybe a boiling water method, then just shift it a little bit back into its original position. Maybe that'll help. But if you know anything about that, let me know about that. Because I have a few other Marvel Legends figures with that same issue. So those are a few minor things I noticed. But pretty nice size here. Let's get into some details. It does come with a nice array of accessories, which is always a good thing. We have an extra head here. And I believe this head is supposed to be modeled after the more traditional Punisher. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong on that. I believe the other one that I had on is the Jim Lee style Punisher head. And that's the one that he comes on with in stock. But you have this Punisher head here. It's got a little 5 o'clock shadow and stuff, a little more grungy. And you just snap that off. And as always, when detaching and reattaching these heads, just make sure that you don't force them on too hard. And that you pull them off with ease. And that one just snaps right back on there. Pretty easy. So that's a good thing. Now he comes with some nice weapons here. He's got his bazooka. Looks pretty similar to another figure I have. If you watch the other reviews, of course at the end of this video, you'll see this weapon probably again as well. Also, we got the AK, or I'm not sure exactly which type of assault rifle this is. But He's got his assault rifle. Also got his white little Tommy gun. So Punisher comes locked and loaded with a bunch of accessories. So that's definitely a good thing. Now let's get into some more details on him as far as stats and stuff. If we measure him, he sits about right at maybe just a little under 6.5 inches. So he's pretty good standard Marvel Legends height there. And now let's get into some articulation here. Let's start at the head. We can turn him. He's got a left, right turn. We can do a full 360 spin. Turn to the sideways, head tilt. He's got a full range of motion going down. He's got a lot of range of articulation going back too. Let's get to the shoulder here. Shoulder swivel. It doesn't come out to the side too much. He does have a full 360 turn going forward and backward. He's got bicep swivel as well. Double jointed elbows. No forearm swivel. Get down to the wrist. He does have a little range going down and going up on the wrist. And of course, his rotation. Get to the midsection here. He does have ab crunch. So you can hear it click when you bend him forward. It's got a small little range going forward. And then if you bend him back, it's got a little range going back as well. Not too much as far as the ab crunching here. Does have hip swivel. So you turn his hips. Mind you now, he has his rubber belt as well. So when doing that, be mindful that will shift as well. So you'll have to reposition that whenever you turn his hips, swivel it. Get down to his legs here. Ball joint. Extends out to the side, not too much. Not a much range sideways. Going forward, if we turn him sideways, he's got a lot of range going forward. Coming back, not so much. Now, he also has a thigh swivel here. Get down to the knees, double jointed knee. Swivel here at the shin. Get to the ankle. Ankle tilting down, tilt back up. And of course, he has ankle pivoting. So that's the articulation range here on the Punisher figure. As always, most Marvel Legend figures, as you know, good range of articulation there. They did not fall short with this one as well. Maybe they could have did some forearm articulation as well, but it doesn't take away from the figure. Now, some things that do take away from the figure, which I mentioned earlier, was just, some of the material used in the craftsmanship as far as the plastic here, the joints. Whenever I pull the figure out of the package, I don't want to have a figure where the joints is all shifted from the packaging because they use this soft rubber material to connect the pieces here at the joints. So that can be a little frustrating. Also, another thing I've noticed looking at the figure, the paint applications on the areas here, particularly I noticed on the skull area, there's a little bit of, I want to say, either chipping or they just didn't paint that in too well. You see some of the black, just little small specks. You don't notice it too much looking at it in the with the naked eye. You'll have to really study it hard. But I do notice on this belt, as you can see right here, where it's supposed to line up with the rest of the Punisher skull logo, it's kind of not completely well painted together. It's kind of a little more heavier in the white. It's not even. It's not even as far as the width of the white lines and where it's supposed to separate. So I noticed that is too. So paint application is not super bad, but it's not A1 either. Now I do commend them though on his leather belt here, or pouch, combat belt, and his shoulder pouch or shoulder straps, whatever you want to call them. It looks like they did do some good detailing with, looks like they did a little black wash on it, which is cool. There's some other figures out there that they used the combat pouch accessories and shoulder straps. They didn't really do any of that detail. So this does make this figure stand out a little more with that detail. I'm glad they put that detail into that. So that was the hands-on review. Now this Punisher figure, I pointed out the flaws and stuff. Now first of all, let me mention, give him 360, swap the heads out that you see him with the other head. I'm still kind of just torn on which head I'm probably going to be displaying with him the most. I kind of am starting to favor this head a little more. I actually like how this one looks. On all the previews and stuff before this figure is released, they used the other head with the headband. I was seeing a lot. But this one might grow on me a little more. I might prefer this one. Now, would I recommend this figure? Well, if you already have definitely the Toy Biz version, Punisher, I can't think of the series right now, but it's basically modeled just like this one. It's got the white shoes, but it has the baggy black pants. I kind of like that one the best. I think that's the best Punisher Marvel Legends figure that I have seen out there to date. They've had a few other variations, but I know if you have that one, you definitely don't need this Punisher figure. I'm going to tell you that right now. You already got a good Punisher figure out there. Now, if you don't have one, or you've had some other variations in the past and you do want to just add one in, or you're a very big diehard Punisher fan, then yeah, you'll want to go ahead and grab this one up. And those of you who don't have a Punisher figure at all, this is definitely something you want to add to your collection. It's got a nice little sculpt to it, nice build. Like I said, there are some gripes as far as the joint quality where it connects for the joints. Little minor paint application details, and that could just be with this figure in specific. But, if you are looking for him, I must mention that this is supposed to be a Walgreens exclusive. So if you're going to look into retail, any type of retail store, you're not going to find them unless it's a Walgreens. Of course, you can go the online route, but you may end up paying a little more than the retail price. You know how folks do when they find figures like these and get them online. So I'm just going to leave that note with you. But anyway, for those of you out there who's been interested in this figure, maybe you got this figure already, go ahead and leave me a comment in the description. Let me know what you think about them as well. If you got any tips as far as what I was telling you about my gripes with the whole joints buckling and all bent out of shape, leave that as well. I definitely curious. I want to know. I know I'm not the only one that's had these issues with a lot of these Hasbro Marvel Legends figures that's been dropping lately. So I definitely want to hear some info about that. But anyway, hopefully this helps out people who's been looking into this figure and may want to get it for themselves. Be sure to like this video, comment on them, share them with your friends who may be interested and all that. And be sure to subscribe to the channel. Click this icon right here. You can stay up to date. I'll have different types of videos all the time on various figures in my collection and figures that I get in. Also, if you're on Instagram, follow me at SB Toys. That's my other form of social media I'm mainly active on. So you can stay with me there and see all types of little photos and other exclusive content. Anyway, until next time, I either have another showcase or another figure review. I think my X-Men wave should be in soon. So I've already done some of those. So the rest that I plan on keeping, I'll probably be reviewing them too. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, this your boy SB. Y'all be easy. So overall, pretty solid figure. I'm pretty impressed. I've heard some critiques about, the scale and the proportions. I mean, holding it in my hand, it's not really, I don't notice it being out of proportion too much. I'd say maybe the legs may be slightly a little bigger than they need to be, but it's not to the point to where it's noticeable to where you're like, this figure is way out of proportion.